as we look at New Mexico State taking on Bowling Green in this one. Bowling Green laying to 3.5 right now. The total 47.5. December 26, 2:30 kickoff on this one. How about it, Dave? Are you leaning one way or the other in this matchup?
No, I think I'm going to stay out of this game. It's two teams that have no business being in a bowl game. But I know New Mexico State's excited. I mean, this is their second bowl in basically as long as I've been alive. And that's a real long time, okay? So they're excited. Bowling Green, I think, I like teams that exceeded expectations, and the Falcons definitely did that this year. So I think it could be a fun game. I have a feeling it's going to be very high scoring. I can't give you much else other than that because I don't hold. When you're talking about teams at this level, it's really tough to find consistency because they're just mediocre. But I think it's going to be a wide open playbook on both sides, and I would tend to think that leads to a high scoring game. So entertaining, quick lane bowl, and I'll go with the over.
All right, leaning towards the over in this one. Mejia, what do you think? In Detroit, I believe, with this one. So weather won't be an issue. What do you think?
I mean, Scott Loeffler went 7-22 in his first 3 years, so it's definitely progress to see the Falcons in this game. They had a strong stretch there where they won 3 in a row. I don't remember them winning 3 in a row in years, probably since Dino Babers was there, but maybe a little more recently than that. But it's definitely been a tough stretch for Bowling Green. Ditto for New Mexico State, as Dave alluded to. They haven't been in a bowl since 1960 was their last bowl. And so to us, their 3-0-1 bowl record with a grain of salt. They happened to tie a bowl game. I didn't bother to go research when, but it was certainly before 1960. And they have been very strong defensively, haven't allowed more than 14 points against a group of 5 team since September, since playing Hawaii in a game they won 45-26. They started out with a Nevada game. I think a lot of people may remember because a lot of people were on New Mexico State in that game, and it was turnover after turnover that allowed Nevada to pull away and actually cover in that win. But since then, they had that game against San Jose State canceled due to bereavement, and because of that, they got an extra game against Valpo, absolutely destroyed Valpo 66-3 or something like that. That got them into this game. In that game, though, their quarterback Diego Pavia got injured with a hammy, and he expects to play. So that's really the big deal for New Mexico State is whether he'll line up. Terry Kill says he's about 90%. They won their last 5 games. This will be an interesting matchup. Probably one I will stay away from as well. But yeah, certainly it's two teams that will actually want to be there. So if you're looking for teams that are engaged in a bowl, this is it.
It's going to be an interesting one, Bryan Power. I guess, which defense has been pretty decent here this year. Which offense do you trust more, I guess, is what it comes down to here for you.
Well, look, as Dave put it, these two teams are, as really stretching the definition of bowl teams. I think they are 2 of my bottom 3 ranked. I got New Mexico State as the worst team in a bowl, Bowling Green third worst, UConn is the second worst for the 2 people out there who would care about that list. I'll just share that. But not sure you're going to find 2 teams more motivated to play in the Quick Lane Bowl the day after Christmas than these 2 because, New Mexico State, they've only been to 1 bowl since 1960. And then they scrambled to get that 12th game in against Valpo, as Tony pointed out, just so they could get the 6th win. Bowling Green has not been to a bowl since 2015. And for them, you'd expect, even though it's the day after Christmas, they're going to have some fan support there. It's just a 90-minute drive up to Detroit from campus. I'm not sure how popular the trip from Las Cruces to Detroit is the day after Christmas, despite the enthusiasm for being back in a bowl. These offenses were bad, Joe. New Mexico State really inflated their numbers by beating up on 2 FCS teams down the stretch. They only averaged 17.7 points per game on the road, and then Bowling Green had an outlier effort against Toledo where they put up 42. I've watched this team way more than I should have, and their offense kind of stinks. They can't run the ball 17 points or less 7 times this year. one thing people are probably unaware of, the Falcons defense, top 10 in the country in sacks, in the country, that is, I would like to reiterate. The game's on a fast track, and it's a low total. So I could see why Dave would like the over. The quarterback situation seems like it's going to play out for New Mexico State, like Tony said. But I think I like the under here. I can't trust either of these offenses, unless if just both defenses no-show, and we won't know that till the game starts. I actually would lean towards the under here.
All right, leaning towards an under in this one here, guys. New Mexico State Bowling Green, Quick Lane Bowl.